Hard to believe. 22-year-old Clarice Lee is now facing 4 counts of sexual misconduct with a minor.
On January 22, 2013, detectives arrested Clarice Lee, a teacher's aide for special needs children, for 4 counts of sexual misconduct with a minor. The incident took place in a school gym basement and involved 6 students. How did that happen, and how did police figure out? On January 22, 2013, detectives from TPD, Child Sexual Assault Unit, responded to Amphitheater High School after an off-duty Tucson Arizona police officer was advised by the school staff members of an incident in which a teacher's aide had sexual contact with multiple students. Detectives learned that on Friday, January 18, 2013, adult female teacher's aide Clarice Lee led 6 male students during lunch period to a deserted school gym basement, a location on campus that is no longer in use. Lee, aged 22 at the time, engaged in sexual contact with 2 18-year-old students and sexual intercourse with a 16-year-old student. The activity took place in the presence of 3 other students, one aged 17 and 2 18-year-olds, one of which filmed the incident on his phone. The entire thing took minutes, and it is not known if the video was shared with anyone or uploaded to the internet, at least before the short video was seized by police after they spoke to the teens. Also, the act is believed to have been spontaneous because Clarice Lee allegedly only knew the students from passing them in the hall. However, a later testimony proves that she started everything by exposing herself to them near the cafeteria. Mrs. Lee has been employed by Amphitheater High School since August of 2012 as a teacher's aide for special needs children. According to the school district, Lee resigned January 23, 2013, and it should be noted that none of the students involved was special need. According to Lee's Facebook page, she is the mother of 2 who had attended Pima Community College and had previously worked as a special education teaching assistant at another Tucson school. After learning about what happened, detectives arrested Lee for 4 counts of sexual misconduct with a minor and was booked into the Pima County Jail. The counts pertain only to the acts with the 16-year-old student.
An Arizona teacher's aide is accused of having group sex with students during lunch period while another student filmed all of this. Hard to believe. 22-year-old Clarice Lee is now facing 4 counts of sexual misconduct with a minor. Now, this happened last week at Amphitheater High School, that's in Tucson, where Lee has worked as an aide for special needs students since last August. Our partners down at KOLD report that Lee engaged in sexual contact with 2 18-year-old boys and sexual intercourse with a 16-year-old boy. Investigators say it happened in the presence of 3 other students.
Even though it's involving 18-year-olds, they're still students of the high school. It's an inappropriate conduct, and she committed, obviously, crimes by doing so.
Tucson police say one of the observers recorded the sex acts on a cell phone. The Amphi School District says Lee resigned yesterday.
The case will be presented to the Pima County Attorney's Office to decide if additional charges will be filed against Lee regarding the other students. After Lee's arrest, the Amphitheater High School principal sent an automated telephone message to the home of every student informing parents of the situation. The parents of students who were involved in the incident were contacted directly, and counseling is provided to all students who are interested. A Pima County Superior Court jury determined that Clarice Lee was charged with 4 counts of sexual contact with a minor and 1 count of sexual exploitation of a minor in connection with the January 2013 incident at Amphitheater High School, not guilty of all charges. Throughout the trial and in closing argument, defense attorney Walter Palzer maintained Lee had no way of knowing one of the teens was 16 years old. Palzer played the video for the jurors of Lee's interview with police a few days after the incident. In it, Lee's facial expression changes from confident while describing the sexual encounter with the student to weeping when police told her the boy was 16 years old. A cell phone video of the encounter with the students that the prosecution played for the jury showed Lee asking how old the students were. The students replied that they were 18 years old, although Lee jokingly called the students liars. Pima County Attorney Elizabeth Farkas attempted to counter Lee's defense that she was unaware of the victim's age, saying she knew the victim was under 18 because she called him a liar. She did not make any reasonable effort to find out their ages. The prosecution also noted Lee referred to the student as boy and kids numerous times during her initial interview with police, then read to the jury a portion of the transcript of the interview. She said, "I knew I shouldn't have worked at a high school for something like this happening, and look, it did." In her testimony, Lee said she had at least one previous flirtatious incident with some of the students involved. She said, "I flashed them," then explained that she saw about 6 or 7 of the boys near the cafeteria on the afternoon prior to the sexual encounter in the gym basement and exposed herself. Lee added that at least one of the students may have touched her, but she wasn't sure who it was. Another student filmed the incident with his cell phone. Lee testified that she instructed the student not to show her face in that video. Balzer, her attorney, said Lee was battling self-esteem issues and enjoyed the attention from the male students. She was flirting with them. It made her feel better about herself. It made her feel attractive. Unfortunately, at that point, she chose poorly. The jury also found Lee not guilty on the sexual exploitation of a minor, despite the prosecution argument that she had facilitated the making of a child pornography. Farkas, the prosecutor, questioned Lee about whether she knew a student was recording the incident in the basement. Lee said she wasn't sure if the students were filming because the basement room was dark. Farkas replied by pointing that it would have been obvious because the student was moving around Lee and the others, holding a cell phone in his extended hand. In addition, Farkas said the light from the phone's flash was clearly visible in the video of the incident, and Lee could be seen looking directly toward the camera. "It looks like a flashlight," Lee said, repeating that she did not know the cell phone was recording. Balzer argued that Lee not only was unaware of the teen's age, but also did not know one of the students was recording the incident. Just because you're looking at something does not mean you know you're being filmed, Balzer told jurors. Regardless if she knew or not, the case was concluded and Lee won't serve any jail time.